The knit community of Caymanas Gardens, Portmore, continues to grapple with grief after 6 of their own perished in a car crash in Florida recently. However, a moment of solemn solidarity rose Sunday as opposition leader Mark Golding paid a visit. Golding also visited 2 other families in the community who are also faced with grief. He says,
one of the families is grieving a lady, daughter, granddaughter, who passed away of natural causes. And then 2 of the other families have a common connection because young ones and youngsters from both families died in a terrible accident in Florida, motor vehicle accident.
The opposition leader described the incident as tragic. He further notes that he had connection with one of the victims in the Florida crash.
I heard about it and I realized that I had a connection because the cousin of the deceased in one of the families is on my team in my constituency. And he gave me the details of the addresses, and I had the time to come this afternoon and pay my respects to the families.
The victims were killed when the SUV they were traveling in collided with a semi-truck before bursting into flames. Akeem Art, CVM News.
Meanwhile, the political heat is rising over Jamaica's rural school bus initiative as Transport Minister Darrell Vaz and Opposition Senator Damian Crawford traded sharp words over the scope and sustainability of the program. At the heart of the dispute is the government's $1.4 billion investment in 110 new school buses, 25 of which arrived recently. Opposition Senator Damian Crawford blasted the plan as untargeted and inadequate, arguing it will only serve a fraction of the students in need. The university lecturer insists it's just not adding up. In fact, based on his calculations, he deems servicing 328,000 students daily an impossible task during peak hours alone.
If it is to service 328,000, you will have to make 328,000 divided by 4,800. It would have to make 68 trips each day. So based on Vaz's calculation, his bus system in the period of 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. would make 68 trips. Each bus would make 68 trips. And the total, all buses would make 68 times 100, 6,800 trips per day. That is impossible, Christopher Vaz. And it is a shame that both the Minister of Education and the Minister of Finance were in line nodding with this ridiculous calculation.
But on several platforms in recent weeks, the minister slammed the opposition for what he deemed their negativity towards the initiative, insisting this will provide a solution for students in rural parishes struggling to get to and from school.
258 schools, 328,000 students in the first phase. Within 2 years, we will be able to cover the 850 schools. 650,000 students will be able to go to school every morning.
Meanwhile, in a hotly worded quick calculation video by the PNP making sense of the proposition, Crawford contends the government's plan simply won't work, at least not how it's so far been marketed to the masses.
100 buses can transport on a daily basis 328,000 students. Now please remember, all students go to school every single day, and so they will need that transportation. Now it is impossible that the bus can make 68 trips per day. Now to the contrary, if Christopher Tufton says that each student would not get the bus each day, then of the 190 days that the students are supposed to go to school, they would be able to access this bus only 3 days of the 190 days if it is going to service 328,000 students. So, Christopher Tufton, there's nothing correct about what you have calculated.
The buses, powered by compressed natural gas, are part of a broader plan to deploy 300 units over 3 years. Students on PATH will ride for free, while others will pay a flat $50 fare. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has backed George Wright as the party's representative, or soon-to-be representative, in the Westmoreland constituency for the next parliamentary election. We hear more in this report.
George Wright, who has been readmitted to the Jamaica Labour Party after having his membership revoked 2 years ago for domestic violence allegations, is now being backed by Minister Tufton for the Westmoreland seat. Tufton says he believes Wright is the right man for the job, as he won the seat in 2020 and is committed to the people of Westmoreland.
If George Wright, the right George, won in the past, he can win again. If George Wright, the right George, has stayed with you even through his trials and tribulations, he will stay with you in good times and in bad times.
When asked if he was the right man for the job, Wright said,
Take on this challenge, I would have lived my whole entire life here in Westmoreland. I would have seen the neglect, and then I make myself available. One thing for sure is that I'm committed to what I'm doing, and of course, I've been loved by the people, and because of that, I cannot do anything to let them down. I have to work for them.
Tufton urged the people of Westmoreland to give the Andrew Holness administration another term, as they have made and will continue to make significant improvements to the health sector. As part of that commitment, he promises a multi-million-dollar upgrade for the Savlamar Hospital.
We must call on the people of Central Westmoreland, call on the people of Jamaica to charge them with recklessness and reject them at the polls and give this government, led by Andrew Holness, an opportunity to continue to provide leadership, because that leadership is resounding to the improvement of public health infrastructure and public health services.
Carla Ramsey.
The government is being pressed to table the Integrity Commission report in the Senate by Friday. The call came from opposition spokesman Julian Robinson while he tackled the matter during a divisional conference in Nannyville, Kingston. Zor Grant has the details.
Concerns are now being raised about the government's handling of the Integrity Commission's annual report. Opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, believes there may be an effort to delay its tabling.
Earlier today, the Integrity Commission sent to the Parliament their annual report. We noticed this week the government wanted to have Parliament on both Tuesday and Wednesday. They didn't have it on Wednesday. But when Parliament adjourned on Tuesday, the House leader said it was adjourned for a date to be announced. They don't normally do that. They normally say it is adjourned till next week. So we realized that they don't plan to keep the Parliament next week. So since the Integrity Commission has sent the report to Parliament, I expect the President of the Senate tomorrow morning to table the Integrity Commission report in the Senate. And comrades, we don't have none for hide. The comrade leader checked everybody on our side. So the 9 of them, and not 8, but they think they're 8, but are really 9 of them under investigation for illicit enrichment. We want to find out whether there are more when the report is tabled, because it looks like them trying to hide the tabling of this report. And we can't have a government led by somebody who going 4 years and them integrity report can't certify. Led by somebody who taking the Integrity Commission to court for link down the same law way men to protect us against illicit enrichment. You need a government led by somebody with clean hands and a pure heart. And that's Comrade Mark Jefferson Boyd.
Robinson also addressed the recent tragedy at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. the death of 24 babies in 24 days, acknowledging the loss and calling for accountability. He says the situation deserves a thorough investigation.
We offer our condolences to the families of those babies who died. And believe you me, don't take it simple. Losing a baby, having carried that baby in the mom's womb for so long, is a heartbreaking experience. But we need an investigation as to why so many of the babies have died. We understand it's 24 at Victoria, but there may be more at other hospitals. And we need to get to the root of what has caused so many babies to die.
Zaw Grant reporting for CVM News.
And just to note that that report has since been tabled, in fact, since last weekend. While the Jamaica Labour Party JLP members are rallying behind Prime Minister Andrew Holness and pushing back against criticism from the opposition. The comments came during the party's Area Council 1 meeting held in Fletcher's Land, West Kingston, on Sunday. Here's more from Raymond Morrison.
The meeting saw strong defenses of Prime Minister Andrew Holness's leadership and a passionate response from Portland Eastern Member of Parliament Anne-Marie Vaz, who accused members of the opposition of targeting her character and attacking her school bus initiative with negativity.
That bus has led to a national rural bus system for our Jamaican children. What kind of people bad mind children going to school safe? How you can stand up and instead of trying to figure out how you can help to make this work for the children who are the future of this country, how you bad mind it?
Vaz encouraged supporters to stay focused on their goals despite personal attacks. She also took aim at opposition leader Mark Golden, accusing him of contradicting his own promises about free beach access.
Every girl and every boy, every man and every woman that is listening to me here tonight, I want you to listen good. When you have a dream and you're taking the steps to make your dream come true and the bad mind them come around you, run them! Run them! I have one thing, only one thing to say that to that leader of the opposition. You're walking around and you're talking, the last talk I hear you make is that when you become Prime Minister, first of all, that will never happen. So you can stop right there. So when you become Prime Minister, you're going to make beach free, access free. Well, I am calling on you tonight. Your council caretaker in Fellowship Division, your junior shadow spokesperson on culture, have Boston Beach under wraps gotten from the PNP for 9 years. We want Boston Beach.
Host MP Desmond Mackenzie then took center stage, addressing recent claims from the opposition that the Andrew Holness-led administration is dunce, a derogatory term suggesting they're uneducated.
Some of them say we're dunce, but it's all right. We're dunce, but we have understanding. Talk to us as a country. You're out there running up and down on platform and trying to find issues to talk about. Tell us, how are you going to do better than we are doing in the reduction of crime in this country?
Mackenzie went on to defend the party's record of service to lower-income earners and call on supporters to secure a third term for Prime Minister Holness. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
The General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, has responded to questions raised by Member of Parliament Daryl Vaz regarding Mark Golding's citizenship. He was speaking at a political conference in Westmoreland at the weekend. More in this report.
General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, fired back at Member of Parliament Daryl Vaz's questions on opposition leader Mark Golding's citizenship. This comes after Vaz, during his address at a recent political rally, demanded that the opposition leader update Jamaicans on his citizenship status. He demanded Golding show his birth certificate. But the GenSec announced that the PNP campaign does not revolve around citizenship or skin color, but on the plans the administration have for Jamaica. Some of the plans, he says, include road renovations and hospital improvements.
Them talking about Mark Golding this and Mark Golding that. If them think we are running election based on who born ya or who light versus who black, them make a sad mistake. We are running election based on how we are going to fix road, give people water, give people employment, cut poverty rate, fix hospital, and that we are running election on.
According to Dr. Campbell, Vaz obtained information regarding the stamps in Mark Golding's passport. He suggested Vaz also obtain Golding's birth certificate to ascertain information regarding his birthplace.
Oh, Darrell Vaz could have got check and find out when Mark Golding gets stamped in his passport. Then why him not go down a RGD and pull up Mark Golding birth certificate which shows him born at the University Hospital of the West Indies?
Dr. Campbell also criticized the government's reported 3.5% unemployment rate. His criticism suggests the data might be unrealistic.
How unemployment at 3% and KFC are giving $1,000 worth of chicken and the whole place pack up? They're running around saying that when we have 700,000 persons in the country who are of employment age, who not in a job and not looking for a job.
Daniela McLaughlin for CBM News.